The rifle wasn't even legal in this state. But there it was, shaking in the wrinkled hands of Joan Flanagan, president of the Elk Hollow HOA. She was pointing it directly at my 9-year-old twin boys. Their crime? Riding their scooters too fast on the community sidewalk. She looked like a suburban Rambo cosplaying as a crossing guard. And then, a miracle. The sound of rotor blades cut through the chaos. A sheriff's department helicopter thundered over the trees, floodlights blazing. Joan blinked up at the sky. A voice boomed through the speaker, "Put the weapon down. Final warning. My name is Elliot Monroe. I'm 39, and I'm the human equivalent of the color beige. All I wanted was a quiet life for my kids. But peace is impossible when your neighborhood is run by a woman who carries a 72-page bylaw handbook in a custom leather holster." Joan had ruled Elk Hollow for 12 years. She banned basketball hoops as visual chaos. She banned sidewalk chalk as graffiti training. She even banned bird feeders, citing sparrow favoritism. When Tyler and Trevor started scootering, it triggered a powder keg. Joan's emails were masterpieces of insanity. Subject line: unauthorized child transport devices. When I asked for the specific bylaw she was citing, she sent me a hand-drawn chart labeled the Scooter Velocity Threat Matrix. It looked like something a conspiracy theorist would draw after 6 pots of coffee. Then came the stalking. She'd follow the boys in her beige Buick at exactly 2 miles per hour, filming them with her phone. She once stopped them to measure their deceleration response time. She even asked them for their operator licenses. When Tyler told her that was silly, she wrote him up for verbal insubordination. Saturday morning changed everything. The boys were out early racing each other, just being kids. I was in the garage reorganizing my pegboard, when I heard Joan's voice, shrill and commanding. I looked up. Joan was stepping out from behind a decorative hedge like a deer-hunting ninja in orthopedic sandals. And that's when I saw the rifle.
A reál, bolt action hunting rifle.
Violation of Safety Code 12E, she screamed. Her finger was on the trigger. Her hands were shaking with self-righteous adrenaline. My boys froze. A neighbor screamed. Someone called 911. And by some stroke of cosmic luck, someone else called their cousin in the sheriff's aerial division. The helicopter appeared in less than 4 minutes. The chopper came in low. The spotlight pinned Joan to the pavement. 3 cruisers screamed into the cul-de-sac, kicking up gravel. Deputies swarmed her. As they disarmed her, she screamed directly into a deputy's face, "I am the law here." She actually said it. Like a suburban Judge Dredd. They cuffed her on the ground while she ranted about private community property. One deputy just shook his head and whispered, "Not my first HOA arrest." But here's the kicker: they found a fake HOA marshal badge in her pocket. She'd had it made at a novelty store and had been flashing it at people for months, claiming she had state authority. They found 2 more in her car, along with a taser she hadn't figured out how to use yet. The detective did some digging. Joan had a history. 2 years ago, she threatened a teen with a baseball bat for loitering on a tricycle. She had 2 restraining orders from previous states and a dismissed charge for trying to citizens arrest a woman at a grocery store for having 16 items in the 15 or less lane. She'd even been secretly using HOA funds to take a security and arrest procedures course. The rifle? Unregistered. Purchased illegally across state lines. The HOA held an emergency meeting that night. Standing room only. The community center still had Joan's lawn care compliance posters on the walls. The vote was unanimous. Joan was out. Banned for life. They also dissolved her scooter velocity regulations and, my personal favorite, the sparrow favoritism clause. The trial was a spectacle. Joan's lawyer tried to argue HOA-related stress caused diminished capacity. The judge didn't buy it. Child endangerment, 18 months. Weapons charges, 12 months. Impersonating an officer, 6 months. Plus $20,000 in fines. When the sentence was read, Joan turned a shade of purple I didn't know the human body could produce. She stood up and shouted that the court had no jurisdiction over HOA matters. Her lawyer had to physically pull her back into her seat. Elk Hollow is quiet now. The kids are back on their scooters. The sparrows are being favored at every bird feeder on the block. And me? I'm back to my pegboard. Only now, I don't just find peace in the labels. I find peace in knowing that the only thing being measured in this neighborhood is how much we're all enjoying the silence.